Welcome to December's Myth of the Month. This month we're going to be looking at Santa Claus and other mystical gift givers from around the world. Now you're probably very familiar with Santa Claus, the man in a red suit with a white beard who flies around on a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer and delivers presents to good children on Christmas Eve. Have you ever wondered how he gets to all those houses around the world in one night? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. He doesn't. At least he doesn't do it alone and not always on the same night. Sometimes he dresses or acts differently, and sometimes he has helpers besides his elves. Some places get visits from completely different gift givers. There are many different legends about mystical gift givers all around the world. Do they work with Santa? Are some of them Santa by a different name? No one knows for sure, but here are several stories from around the world. Father Christmas visits children in the United Kingdom. He looks a lot like Santa and delivers presents on Christmas, but he dresses a little differently. Instead of red, he wears a hooded green cloak, a wreath of holly or ivy, and he carries a long staff. If you are familiar with the story A Christmas Carol, he looks a lot like the Ghost of Christmas Present usually looks. Instead of the North Pole, he is said to live in Lapland, Finland. Santa Claus is sometimes also called Father Christmas, so could these two be the same person? Père Noël, which means Father Christmas, stops by the homes of good children in France. He wears a long red cloak. Instead of hanging up stockings, children leave their shoes by the fireplace and hope to find them filled with goodies after going to church on Christmas Eve. Père Noël travels with Père Fouettard, which means the whipping father, who spanks children who have misbehaved through the year. He isn't the only one who doles out punishments. Bad children in and around Germany may get a visit from Krampus, a half-goat, half-demon creature with horns and a long, forked tongue whose body is covered in dark fur. He carries birch branches to swat at naughty children, but he will also sometimes take bad children away in a large basket or sack he carries on his back. He arrives with St. Nicholas on the night of December 5th. Good children will find presents left for them on December 6th from St. Nicholas. But bad children, well... Some places have multiple gift givers. While some children in Japan may get a visit from Santa Claus, others may get a visit from Hoteisho. This Buddhist monk is one of 7 gods of fortune. Like Santa, he carries a sack of toys for well-behaved children and has a large belly. However, you do want to be sure to behave if he's around. He has eyes in the back of his head. Children in Iceland may get a visit from one of the 13 Yule lads. These mischievous elves look like mini Santas and like to play tricks. One likes to slam doors at night and wake everyone up. One peeks into children's bedrooms to look for things to steal while they are asleep. Most of them, however, like to steal specific household items or foods. For example, one likes to steal and lick spoons, while another uses a hook to steal meat. One Yule lad will show up on each of the 13 days leading up to Christmas. They stay around for 13 days. Children leave their shoes by the windowsill, hoping that one of them will leave them small gifts or treats. Bad children, however, will find potatoes in their shoes instead. 2 scary creatures often accompany the Yule lads. The first is the Yule cat, who is known to eat anyone who does not get a new piece of clothing for Christmas. On the plus side, this can be something as small as a scarf or socks. The second is the Yule lad's mother, the ogress Gryla. She takes away bad children to be boiled into a stew. However, if these children repent for their naughty deeds, Gryla must let them go. Another gift giver who travels with a companion is Ded Moroz, or Father Frost, who visits Russia and Ukraine. He used to take children away like Krampus or Gryla, only giving them back if their parents gave him gifts. He eventually changed his ways and now delivers presents to good children with his granddaughter, Snegurachka, on New Year's Eve. Ded Moroz sometimes wears red, but he's usually seen wearing blue. He carries a magical staff and has a beard much longer than Santa. And horses pull his sleigh rather than reindeer. Amun Moroz visits children in Iran, but rather than showing up in the middle of winter, he shows up at the beginning of spring to mark the beginning of the Iranian New Year, around mid-March, and hands out gifts to well-behaved children. He is married to Nane Sarma, who he is only able to see once a year. Every year, she cleans her house, preparing for his arrival. She works so hard that she falls asleep. When Amun Moroz arrives, he finds her sleeping. Not wanting to disturb her rest, he leaves her a flower before heading back out. She wakes up shortly after he leaves and has to wait a year to see him again. The witch La Befana visits children in Italy on the night of January 5th, the eve of Epiphany, the end of the Christmas season. The three wise men stopped at La Befana's house while they were traveling to visit the newborn king. She invited them in and gave them food and shelter, and they invited her to join them on their journey. She said she had too much housework to do, so she declined their offer. Shortly after the wise men left, she changed her mind and decided she wanted to go after all. She loaded up gifts and goodies and tried to catch up, but she could not find them. She now flies around on her broomstick looking for the baby. She leaves gifts for good children and coal for naughty ones. Like Santa, she enters homes through the chimney. Instead of milk and cookies, she prefers sausage and wine. If she does make a mess around the fireplace when she visits, she will use her broom to clean up. Also like Santa, Befana does not like to be seen. If any children happen to spot her when she stops by, they'll get a swat from her broom. Speaking of the three wise men, they are said to visit children in Spain and parts of Mexico on January 6th, Three Kings Day. Children may write letters to their favorite of the three kings, Melchior, Gaspar, or Balthazar. They leave out sweets for the wise men and hay for their camels, also leaving their shoes nearby. The next morning, the offerings will be gone and the shoes will be filled with goodies. Our final gift giver is different from the rest. On December 8th, in the Catalan region of Spain, families bring out Tio de Nadal, the Christmas log. While the three wise men leave the bigger presents, the log gives small gifts and sweets intended to be shared by whoever is around. This hollow log stands on stick legs and has a happy painted-on face. Children take care of the log, feeding him nuts and dried fruits and keeping him warm with a blanket. Then on Christmas Eve, children sing songs and beat the log with sticks. After this, the children check under the blanket to find that the log has pooped out sweets and small presents. There are plenty more stories of gift givers from around the world, but that's all we have time for this month. We hope you have a very happy holiday season and a happy new year. We'll see you next time.